Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great October so far. I am in full Michael Myers mode right now, and I've been working on my Dick Warlock 1/6 scale Michael Myers Halloween 2 figure from 1981. Now, you've seen this on the channel before, but now I have two head sculpts, one clean and one with the blood tears. So I just wanted to do a little update video for you, do some poses, use some of the different weapons that he uses in the movie. But I'm not finished with him yet. I still need to decide what I'm going to do about these coveralls. These are very rare. They're by Tanila's Customs. They are the movie accurate spruce green. However, they were originally meant to be 78 coveralls, so the pocket flap is on his right side. So I'm not too sure if I want to go removing that pocket flap, because it's a minor thing. I still look at this and I see Dick Warlock Myers. So because they're so rare, I don't really want to go messing with them, and I also don't really want to do the bullet holes, which is kind of essential. I'll probably do it at some point, but I'm holding off on that for now. For now, I'm just working on head sculpts, getting him the right weapons, making sure I'm using the right kind of body, stuff like that. But we're going to have some fun. Take a look at this guy. Hope you enjoy the video, folks. Drop a like on it, make sure you're subscribed, and check me out on Instagram because there's plenty of pics up on there. So here is the original head sculpt by Ryan Harper. Now, this was originally meant to be a 78 Myers, but I had a couple spare heads from Ryan, and I decided to discolor this one with a bit of a yellow wash to give it that nasty kind of age, like it had been left under the bed, you know, in a pretty heavy smoking kind of environment. So it did kind of yellow over those few years between 78 and 81. But the blood tears I copied from screenshots from the movie, and then added clear nail polish over the red to make the red look nice and shiny and wet. Did some little horns on the side of the head. I think it looks really cool. It's got a scalpel, and that is actually the scalpel that comes with the NECA Retro Cloth Halloween 2 Myers figure. Scale wise, it just about works. As you can see, it doesn't look too small, doesn't look too big. Nice boots on there. We've got a kitchen knife that is kind of the same similar shape and length as the one he gets in the kitchen at the beginning of the movie. It doesn't have the serrated edge, but it's similar enough for now. And I got a hammer because he uses a hammer in the movie. Got a pumpkin here, which is actually a 78 pumpkin again. That's by Steve Maurice, but I just wanted a pumpkin in the scene, so that's the one I've used. And then I've got the latest clean version head sculpt from Ryan Harper, which is absolutely unbelievable, so I'll show you how that looks as well. Do some poses with these different weapons. But let me know what you think of this guy in the comments, and do remember, he's still not finished. Like I said, need to decide what I'm going to do about that pocket flap and the bullet holes, which I will more than likely do, because I know that will add a hell of a lot to the look. But the pocket flap, I might leave that. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, let's get close up. Love the hair that Ryan uses on these sculpts. Now, I haven't used this technique on this one, but I have on more recent head sculpts that I've received from Ryan. And the best thing to do if you want to get the horns on one of Ryan's heads with this particular type of hair, wet the hair and use a sewing needle to get your horns sticking out, and then just let it dry naturally and the horns will stay put. That's what I do, folks. Look at that. Dick Warlock Myers with the blood tears. I'm very glad that I finally got around to doing the blood tears, because it really does eliminate any confusion as to who or which version of Myers this is supposed to be. You see blood tears, your mind instantly goes to H2. So, had to be done. Don't know why it took me so long to do it. But I guess once I got the second head sculpt, it was obvious that I could now do it without fear of ruining things too much in case I did something wrong. But luckily, everything went well. So, let me get a different hand on here. We'll get him doing the blind kind of swiping with the scalpel. Alright, so we've got him reaching up to his face after Laurie shot him in both eyes at the end of the movie. He's slashing away blindly with the scalpel, and there's just something really nasty looking about this figure, man. It does look old, and just you know, somehow managed to capture that. Can't put my finger on it. I can't say exactly what I'm thinking. I don't know how to say it, but he just looks worn in, you know. He's like he's been through the ringer, even without the bullet holes and the blood, which I really probably should do. But here, that is looking absolutely fantastic. Let me change the swiping arm position, spread it out a little bit more, but I landed on that and thought I'd got to show you. So, really curious to know your thoughts, folks. Do you really, does this look like a Dick Warlock Myers, or does it look like I've just modified a 78? Because that's what I've done. But I think it does capture that the Dick Warlock look quite well. Alright, so just change the arm position out a little bit. Get you a few angles. I mean, the scale... Come on, mate. And another little angle of the same pose. See, the thing about this sculpt is, remember it was a 78 sculpt originally, but it had that kind of more narrow, don't want to say squinting, but the 78 eye holes are kind of not round. They're like almond shape, I guess, but these are a bit more kind of just narrow looking. Just like they were for the Dick Warlock mask. Same mask, or one of the same masks from the 78 film. But they just, because Dick Warlock, obviously a different head shape, it just took on a bit of a different look. But I think the eye holes are the right shape on this one for a H2. Now before I do change the head sculpt over to the clean version, let's just go from toe to head and check him out. So we've got the coveralls landing pretty much at the exact spot they're supposed to for the 82 look. Again, the color of these coveralls is really on point to the film. Kind of a spruce green. In certain light they can look quite blue. And we've got the scalpel in the hand there, resting comfortably. And everything seems to fit pretty much perfectly. The collar on this one, these coveralls, is a little bit bigger than the collar should be for an 81 Dick Warlock look, but I basically just raised the head sculpt up a little bit on the neck to get the collar to land at the right point, and he doesn't look giraffe neck or anything, so that seems to have worked quite nicely. Maybe one day, if I see Tanila doing some 81 coveralls, I'll have to grab a pair and do this properly, but I'm just working with the things that I have at the moment, and I'm really satisfied, got to tell you. I'm pretty happy with how he looks. Dick Warlock Myers. Alright, let's change the head sculpt and do some poses with the hammer and the knife. But I was really excited to show you this updated version, folks. Really loving the look with the blood tears. I think it looks very creepy. Alright, we got the clean head sculpt on. We've got him reaching for your soul. And I think this head sculpt does a really good job of capturing just the look when he's on his way to the hospital. There's a couple of shots when he's walking through the parking lot, about to enter, and some of the scenes where he's roaming the corridors in the hospital itself. Very creepy. And whereas the blood tears head sculpt is actually originally a 78 that I've modified, this was and always has been a H2 sculpt by Ryan Harper. He did a really good job with this. So let me just turn him round some and get him facing us. That looks really creepy. Alright, get to stepping. That is the just creeping through the corridors pose. I didn't put the scalpel in the hand yet. Just thought I'd have him weaponless. Maybe he's on the hunt for a new tool for the job. But he is stepping forward. A little bit of walking action. These coveralls fit so well. Let's turn him to the side. Oh man. Just creeping while you're sleeping. Sandman. Coming to snatch you in the night. Come on. That is nasty. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, this knife is not very accurate to the Elrod knife from the beginning of the movie, but it is a very similar shape and size. It just doesn't have that serrated edge, so it's a kind of a placeholder knife for now, but like I said, still a very similar shape and size. So eventually I will get a movie accurate knife from Shadow Fergo. You can see him on Instagram and his work is incredible when it comes to weaponry. But this will do for now. And when he reaches for this knife in the movie, you can see the sleeve of his coveralls in the brightly lit kitchen. And while I couldn't find a very HD clip on YouTube to grab a screenshot from, I did grab one anyway from the clip that I found. It's a bit blurry looking, but you can clearly see that the sleeve to the coveralls is a spruce green. It's very worn and bloody and nasty. It's almost brown looking, but it's definitely more of a green rather than a blue for the folks who leave me comments sometimes saying that the coveralls in 81 were blue. I admit in certain screenshots that you find on Google from the movie, especially towards the end of the film, they do look quite navy blue. So I'm not sure whether they used different coveralls in the movie, but certainly in the beginning of the movie where he goes into the Elrod house to get the knife, he's wearing spruce green, and I like the difference in colour. It kind of makes them stand out as their own thing. Like 81 here, you've got that more kind of yellowish off-white nasty worn mask with the nasty bloody bullet-ridden spruce green coveralls. And then in 78, you know, it's a different kettle of fish altogether, even though it's supposed to be on the same night. But it is what it is. And there's the blood tears resting on the velvet stand in the background. So I'll switch back and forth between the two heads when I'm displaying him in the Myers room. But I've copied that pose that you see him do when he's standing in the background of the Elrod house while they're watching TV, just before he makes his exit. And that looks cool. And we get a quick shot of him holding that hammer. Not sure if that's very accurate to the one he did use in the Halloween 2 movie. That's actually a hammer from Shadow Fergo for the 2018 version of Michael Myers, but I figured I'd include it in the video. And that should wrap things up, folks. I'm going to go back to the Blood Tears head and wrap up the video for you. Hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been fun to shoot. Thank you for watching, everyone. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and make sure you leave me your thoughts in the comments section. Always good to hear from you, especially folks in the Myers community. Some really good people out there. And I'll bring you more Myers videos through the rest of October. Got plenty more to show you. Don't forget, this head sculpt and this one here were made by Ryan Harper. All I did was just discolor this one and add the blood tears to make him look like a H2 mask. But Ryan Harper is currently making these H2 heads, 1978, 2018, quarter scale, 1/6 scale. But he did ask if you could hold off asking him or sending him messages about these heads until November 1st, because he wants to take some time off for October. He won't be answering messages until the 1st of November. So if you want to order some of the heads that I recently reviewed, I did a video featuring 5 new head sculpts from Ryan Harper, quite a few 78s, a H2 and a 2018. You can check that out on the channel, just went up recently. But do hold off on messaging Ryan until November 1st, and then you can place your orders if you so wish. But it's been a fun video to film, folks. I always love doing Myers stuff, and I don't really do too much Halloween 2 content, and it is always nice when I get the chance to do so. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow me on Instagram. I'll see you real soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.